Hey guys, I'm back for another Lazy Sunday talk. I've got a few topics to quickly go through. Obviously we all know that Daggerheart just dropped not too long ago, and while I haven't played it yet, I've been keen to, and haven't decided whether I'm going to buy it in store or online. The only shops in Brisbane that sell it that I could find is a retailer called Good Games. So it says it's out of stock on the website, so more than likely I'm going to purchase it online. But I've been keeping an eye on its core mechanics, particularly the card-based system and the way it handles hope and fear as a narrative lever. And I know some grognards are already sharpening their pitchforks, but honestly, I think it's a fresh take. The card mechanics might not appeal to, like crunchy rule loving players, but I think it'll draw in more casual normie players, to be honest, who feel overwhelmed by rule books in general. So, and I was even eyeing Dungeons and Dragon inventory spell equipment cards back in the day online for my players. I never got around to buying any, but I think the card system is a good selling point. It's a visual selling point, I think. Instead of thumbing through the pages of a rule book, you can have your spell cards in front of you. And I think that's part of the success of Magic the Gathering, is the visual order of things. Obviously the mechanics and the creatures, etc. But if it lowers the barrier to entry for new TTRPG fans, then that's a win in my book. I don't have much else to say other than I will be getting it, and I've planned this year to invest in non-D&D materials, so I'm going to buy core rule books for a lot of OSR systems and anything new that's coming out, crowdfunded, etc. I'm going to make a concerted effort to support the scene. So other than that, I saw a live stream by AJ Pickett, one of the old guard of dungeon tubers, and he was talking about one of his up and coming projects. He's going to release one of his role-playing systems, or I think it's a role-playing system from memory, on YouTube as a video book, which I've been, well, technically it's similar to what I'm doing. I'm releasing my PDFs but linked on a landing page or a landing video, and you look at the description to click on all the PDF links. I will be putting video cutscenes in there as well to supplement the PDFs, but I haven't done it yet. But I think with AJ is going to make a visual book on YouTube, so the pages will be on the video itself. I'm fairly certain. So similar, but yeah. And that way you can just generate revenue from views instead of asking people to shell out money to purchase your product, which is what I've been thinking is a revolutionary idea for some time now. So other than that, I am busily working on my Beast Folk lore video and PDF supplement for Shadowdark. It's sort of expanded. Originally it was the origins of the Beast Folk, but I've tied in my other races as well, which were going to be part of the progenitor race, but I'd never fully fleshed it out until now. So that'll include changelings, elves, and dryads, as well as the beast folk, which are called dyadi in my universe. Dyadi comes from the word dyad, which is dual nature, and half beast, half human or humanoid. So beast folk, dyadi, and I separate them from the Fae. Well, satyrs are considered Fae in D&D, but not in my world. Part of the dyadi, the beast folk. So that's satyrs, minotaurs, centaurs, merfolk, harpies, lizard men, etc. All the half humanoid, half animals. So that lore video / PDF, which will have monster stat blocks for Shadowdark, will be coming out soon, hopefully this week, if I get it all done in time. And I'll link it on the landing video for Epics of Empires. Other than that, also in the works of beginning to write another location PDF, since Briarbrook, the town of Hedges, was well received. So I'm going to do Orbost, the City of Knives, which is fairly much a tribute to Port Black Sand from the Fighting Fantasy books. It's like a Mos Eisley, a den of thieves and brigands. Rule of law is, or the rule of knives is a system that I created that runs the city, but I won't divulge what that is yet. You'll have to get the PDF once I drop that one. So that's Orbost, the City of Knives. That'll be another location you can drop into your role-playing game. And then I have a few other ideas, like the Sky Ruins. There's an Ocean Bridge location. These are all sort of, as soon as I thought of location dropping, like location dropping, it sounds like bird droppings, drag and drop sort of locations, I started thinking of all the iconic locations in my world, and I thought, well, hey, these can be isolated and then just dropped into someone's game. So I'll have some minimalistic lore in there, but you can change and shape it around your own homebrew or official setting. Later on in the year, I will probably work on my Erratra homebrew world setting for Shadowdark, the lore. It'll be probably a dense book, which will take a long time, maybe a few months, but I will try to pump that one out. But that's later. I think at the moment, helping you players with some ideas and some resources to mine is my priority at the moment. Anyway, so that's what I've been musing over. I've also been trying to do a few other things on the side. I tend to get distracted easily, so I come up with these ideas and then try to run with it for as long as I can. I'm also working on finishing my Fighting Fantasy fan book. It's taken me, almost 6 months. Not because I can't knock it out quickly, it's just that I've been doing all this other stuff for YouTube. So yeah, that one's coming. And then I need order. I don't have order in my life. That's why it takes me forever sometimes to get videos out. But I'm also working on, I don't know if any of you remember, maybe the Australians and New Zealanders, if I have any of you in the audience, in my small audience, I love you guys. The Ancestral Trail series, which was released as magazines back in the day, back in the 90s, and they were released in news agencies. I believe the author is a Kiwi, a New Zealander, and it was the journey of this character, very similar to Narnia, where he goes from the real world into a fantasy setting. And you also got these cards monster cards, and they had stat blocks on them, but there was no official game system that I'm aware of. I believe so I looked at these cards, and last year I was thinking, I wonder if these came out before Magic the Gathering, and then I looked at the date that they were released, and I believe it was a year later. So Magic the Gathering, I'm not going to look up on the computer, I can't remember, is it like 91 or 90 or something like that? And then Ancestral Trail came out like 92 or something like that. I'm probably wrong, I'll have to look those dates up, but what I think, this is my theory, is that Magic the Gathering was such a cultural success anyway, where it was released in like Australia and New Zealand. I'm not sure if North America or Europe got that series as well. I would assume so, but because Magic the Gathering was a success, I think the author of Ancestral Trail statted up his cards, or the marketing company that worked with him to release his material thought to sort of piggyback onto the success of Magic the Gathering. That's just my assumption. I have no historical context, not historical context, but no evidence to say that that's the truth. But anyway, so long story short, I decided to come up with a game system to play those cards. So that's just typical me. I see something that I want to see what could have happened if it was something, so I'm working on that as well. So eventually I will do a semi-historical, like a semi-documentary on Ancestral Trail with my PDF rule system to play the cards, but that's later down the track. It's pretty niche, and I want to make it. I think it's cool. What else? It's been a pretty quiet week, actually. I'm at 150. My micro channel is growing, and thanks for the support, guys. It means the world to me, even though this is like a tiny channel. It just shows that my crazy ideas are valuable to somebody out there. So always feel free to message me, because I'm such a small channel. I'll reply to you. I've got YouTube constantly open on my computer and my phone, so I'm always seeing what's happening in the TTRPG space. I think I'm dragging this on longer than I need to, but it hasn't hit my 30-minute mark, which I always aim for. And there's a lot of ums in this video. I won't leave you too long, actually. I will call this very soon, just so that I don't drag on and talk about things that have no relevance, like my personal life. No. So that is it for today on this lazy Sunday. It's a very short daydreams and dawdles. Oh yes, that's before I leave. I was going to do a interview series. I've been talking to a couple of friends, and some of them have channels, small channels as well, and some of them are non-YouTubers who are, there goes my phone, long-time D&D players who are very fascinating people. So I've even thought about doing just little discussions, one-on-one, casual, interview-esque kind of, not necessarily an interview, because it could just be like a sit down and chat and shoot the breeze kind of thing, unless they are a prominent YouTuber. If I ever snag an interview, then it would be a proper interview, but I haven't decided when to start that yet. It's a bit of work, and I don't think my computer at the moment is the best for online interview capturing. And I think I can't talk. I think it will be able to do it, but it's an older machine, so it struggles a bit, and I just don't want it to conk out mid-interview. So I will be upgrading my computer soon. I've got a new machine. I just need dual monitor setup. So, but that's much later. That's about it, really. We'll probably just finish on the 15 mark. I don't have enough to go for 30 minutes, which I always try to aim for my podcasts. Oh, I also... Oh, man, I keep remembering things now. I missed the... There was a convention, a tabletop convention recently, and I missed it. And I was hyping it up and telling my friends, oh, we gotta go. And then I realized it was the weekend that it was on. So I missed that one, which sucks. There is another one coming up at the end of the year, I believe, and I'll definitely go to that one. I might even try to, maybe I could snag an interview there for my interview series. Find like a content creator or someone who's got their own system and they're selling at the convention. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that is it. And I keep remembering, and here's another thing to talk about. In October, I plan to release a Halloween, I guess like a horror themed quest, PDF, like a small quest. It'll probably be my first, unless I do something before then. But I've always been unsure about how to approach releasing a quest per se, because it's easier to just come up with lore and just do a lore stat block PDF, which is pretty linear. Like there's no having to think out level progression and all that kind of stuff, because when you're writing a quest or a module quest, whatever, you've got to take into consideration how many people playing, how you lay out the PDF so that the DM can make the game flow without them scrambling to find notes and what does what and all that kind of stuff. And because I'm new at writing adventure modules, I think in October that gives me plenty of time to try and come up with something. So I've been kicking around an idea that my brother and I one day we're talking about. It was kind of a joke. We were talking about like a character who stumbles into or a party that stumbles into a traveling circus, but all the circus tropes are, sort of carried out by hideous things like, the clown heads that are turning are real people's heads that have been cut off, and the crazy clown guy who's, a psychopath, and all the various, the strong man and all that kind of stuff is like, I don't know, a flesh golem or something, just crazy stuff. But they're trying to, there's like a veneer of pseudo professionalism. They're trying to pretend that it's a real carnival and that, that they want customers to come in and enjoy the experience. But obviously they're trying to kill you at the same time. So that's something I would like to do. So look out for that in October. I'll obviously drop videos before then explaining when I have a release date. But yeah, I hope to sort of fill out my video landing page with more content before I move on to other ideas, because I do have other settings that I want to work on. So Epics of Empires is basically my fantasy setting for Shadowdark, but I've got other ideas in the works, but they'll come much later. But yeah, okay, so we have made it almost to the 20-minute mark, so that's not too bad. That's closer than I expected. So this week, just to recap, or this week coming, I hope to have the Beast Folk video released, and I've got to start doing my D&D horror stories, because they were were pretty popular too. So I believe one of them's only got 21 views and the other one's got hundreds and hundreds of views, and one of them's got 1,000 plus. But I think the 21 views because of the way I meta tagged it and titled it. So I'm learning, okay guys, I'm learning on how to properly advertise my videos. But yeah, there's a few horror stories I want to turn into a video. Also, there, see what I mean? Like I'm going to close the show, but then I keep coming up with new ideas to talk about and bore you. The other idea that I had is a horror story, but it's technically not a Reddit horror story. It actually dates back to the early 2000s when I was sort of first entering the internet era, the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was an Amazon book review. It was a Gygax book review actually on one of the Gord novels, and it was so hilarious. Just the utter sarcastic visual that this customer was writing in the review, and he was just basically breaking it down and saying how ridiculous the book is, and I thought it was funny, and that's been with me for decades. So I thought, why not turn that into a Amazon horror story? So, and that's probably never been done before, so I think I might do that before I do a Reddit horror story. But that might be next, probably 2 weeks from now, maybe, if I can get that done. Actually, yeah, no more maybes. I'll say so 2 weeks from now, I'll do that Amazon horror story, if I can get it done in parentheses. Okay guys, I will leave you there. Enjoy the rest of your day, Sunday for the Aussies and whatever day that is for the rest of the world. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.